if there is anything that I am concerned with, it is of the spiritual development of our people. I know that there has been many scholars, teachers of the light, who try to compartmentalize things, who say that our problem is this, is economics. Our problem is that we're using the wrong religion. Our problem is the white man. Our problem is that you don't know yourself. This is our problem. And this is what it is. It's simple as that. This is what it is. Once we get our economics right, then we can get ourselves right. This is what they say. Asha?
Asha?
Have y'all heard these type of people?
They say that, sir.
You know, once we get the economics right, then everything else will be right. We suffer from tourism.
That's true. Straight out of those cash.
We have to understand that there's no one thing that is our problem. The world is a very complex thing. Relationships are very complex. Everything is complex. If there's only one problem, then we'll be out of that. But everything, like relationships, have many different layers. Asha?
Asha.
And today, if I can take my time with your permission, can I? Asha, okay. But I am clear that one thing, that we must master ourselves before anything that we possibly want to do on a collective basis will ever come to pass. I am sure of that. As I said a few weeks back, I don't get up here to be fashionable because, you know, I like it or, you know, things like that. Because sometimes I really don't want to. You know? I'm like, what am I going to say? You know, and sometimes, you know, I don't know what I'm going to say and things come out. I'm clear that there is a problem in this world. That the problem that we refuse, one of the problems is that we refuse to question. We refuse to question those who teach us. If you don't ever question those who proclaim to know the truth, then are you really thinking?
Can you say that again, sir?
If you never question those who proclaim or who teach you, are you really thinking?
Oh, no.
Because, see, a question doesn't always mean that you have to be antagonistic. But a question can be that you need more clarity. Ashe?
Ashe.
So, one of our grandmaster scholars said this: if you can control a man's thinking, you do not have to worry about his action. When you determine what a man shall think, you do not have to concern yourself about what he will do. If you make a man feel that he is inferior, you do not have to compel him to accept his inferior status. For he will seek it himself. If you make a man think that he is justly an outcast, you do not have to order him to the back door. He will go without being told. And if there is no back door, his very nature will demand one. Who is that, family?
Carl G. Woodson.
Ashe.
Miseducation of the Negro.
Ashe. So if you would, turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor.
Neighbor.
Come on, y'all.
Neighbor.
I want y'all to talk to y'all neighbor. Come on, let's be palatable here today. Neighbor.
Neighbor.
Whose thoughts are you using? Say it again. Neighbor. Whose thoughts are you? Now hold up. Somebody's not listening. using. I didn't get to the using part yet. We learned in rites of passage that you must listen. So neighbor, whose thoughts are you using? I should. So now, somebody answer. No, let's keep going. Is it that of the Christian church? Is it that of your mother and father? And if it is that of your mother and father, have you ever asked your mother and father whose thoughts they were using? Is it that of higher Western ideals? Is it of this epidemic of reality TV? Is it that of European or Western thought? Now, what is European and Western thought? European thought in of itself is nothing more than thinking inside of a circle that has been circumscribed for you by your former slave master and or his children. For the further exploitation of you and or of your children. Living inside of a circle, playing it safe, afraid to jump outside of the box of Western ideals. Family, Western ideals have been created to keep the powers that be in their positions of power. They sell you a material reality that is impossible to maintain and obtain consistently throughout your life. That results in a false sense of happiness that we spoke about a few weeks back. Ashe?
Ashe.
This happiness that we understand that they put in front of us that is really unobtainable because you're looking in all the wrong places for happiness. You have never turned inward to look for happiness. What we've been taught in this Western world to look at for happiness is everything outside of ourselves. Everything with a price tag. Ashe?
Ashe.
They have given us their criteria of what success is. And we try our best to fulfill this American dream. And feel as if somehow we have not accomplished these things, that we have failed.
Ashe.
It is good to accomplish and meet milestones that you have planned for, but it is necessary that we as Africans look at all things with a critical African eye. From an African worldview, we must internalize the second principle of Kwanzaa, or the Nguzo Saba, and that is the principle of Kujichagulia, which says that we must define for ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Ashe?
Ashe.
Now check this out. Nothing has intrinsic value other than what you have been taught to place on it. We have been taught everything that we do or think. We've been taught these things. Someone has given us a value gauge. I like that word gauge, don't you? Someone has given us a gauge to tell us what is valuable and what's not valuable. We have been taught what it is to love. And if I had to go around this room, we wouldn't even agree on what love truly is. We have been taught what smells good. We have been taught what is beautiful. And there is no universal laws that govern these things that I have just mentioned. These are all learned behaviors, concepts, ideals. Right?
Ashe.
I asked y'all if I could go slow.
Take your time, sir.
Again, these are all learned behaviors, ideals, concepts, etc. You may find it hard to believe, but this is a true and scientific fact. There have been studies that support that we think what we have been taught. Dr. Ray often says that you can't teach what you don't know. Without human interaction, we simply will die. We need interaction with one another to learn. But whose worldview have you learned? Whose worldview are you struggling with every day as we live in the hells of this country or the world? Because let's keep it real, there's nowhere you can go that you don't see that man. Let's be real. You can go everywhere. And even if he's not there, he's controlling it.
Ashe. That's right.
So again, whose thoughts are you using? Like Malcolm X said, who told you that your hair is not beautiful? Who told you that your lips are not beautiful? Who told you that your hair and skin is not beautiful? This family is proof that we suffer on many levels. We suffer with someone else's ideals. The real magic of this universe. I know a lot of y'all like hocus pocus. I know y'all like magician magic. You know, you like to take wands and, you know, we want to believe that people float and, you know, all these things, you know. I know y'all want to pick a fight with me. I mean, until you show it to me, don't talk about it. I'm sorry. Until you can duplicate it, don't tell me about it. Because now we're spending all this time talking about it, but you ain't levitating nothing. You're busy worried about levitating stones or who levitated stones, but not levitating yourself.
All right.
So the real magic of the universe is the power of influence. When you can influence someone, man, woman, you have mastered magic. When you can master suggesting things to people where you inculcate it into their mind, you have mastered magic. Especially when it is subliminally carried out. Because the real magicians don't tell you overtly what they're doing. They covertly put it in your food. That's the metaphor. What they may put in your food as well. But they give it to you when you don't even know. They got you thinking like Carter G. Woodson said. You know, you don't have to tell them to do it. Because they will do it. They will make sure it's done. They will do it so much. They will have to make it happen, even if it's at their own demise. Anytime you can look in the mirror and not see beauty in your skin, the texture of your hair, and the way you speak is a result of someone else's ideals.
Ashe.
Or are you thinking from a worldview? I mean, an African worldview. Are you thinking from an African worldview? Do you love what you see? Do you really love what you see? Are you fighting with loving yourself? When you close your eyes and you see the Creator, or you see the God, or you see His avatar, do you see a white person or a Chinese person, or do you see something that is very reflective of yourself? What did Marcus Garvey say? What did he say, y'all? He said, if there's a God for everybody else, there's got to be one that look like you too. Do you like the color of your skin? Do you like the fullness of your lips? And I know y'all always say the fullness of your hips.